guys, this is Aaron from Geeky Development and welcome to our XCode tutorials. And in this tutorial, this is part 2 of our in-app purchase kind of tutorial little series here. So we're going to carry on from where we last left off in part 1, where we created our app ID, our in-app purchase item, and also we created the project and added our bundled identifier into the app. Now what we're going to do in this part now is the complete code to allow us to kind of purchase the item and then display that we've purchased it in a little label. So the first thing we want to do is import a framework which allows us to kind of gather the information and make the purchase within our app, which is the StoreKit framework. So if you go to build phases, go to link binary with libraries, press the plus symbol, just type in store, and you get the StoreKit framework just here. Now once that's added in, we can go into our viewcontroller.h, where just under the implementation, you do hash import. Now make sure it's the import with the 2 brackets, and we need to put in StoreKit / StoreKit.h. Simply save that. Now we've imported the StoreKit framework to allow us to use it, what we now need to do is, well, basically how we're going to do it is on the home screen on our first view, there will be simply a button where we press buy, and that will take us to a new view where the information for our purchase will load up, and it will give us the option to buy or kind of cancel. Now also on the home page, apart from the button, there will be a label. The label will display item not purchased. Then once we have purchased the item, then the label will display item has been purchased. Now the only reason we're doing that simple action with the label, that's just simply a demonstration. You can add any other action like, you know, unlock more levels or however you want to do, but that's just a little example of how we're going to do it. So we're going to need to create our little second view. Now if you go to right click and go to new files and go to Objective-C class, and I'll simply name it purchased view controller. And we simply add that into our project. Drag it down so it's underneath our view controller. Now if you just go into XRB of our view controller, we're going to add our button in. Drag that wide, and we'll simply buy item. Now we need to add our label in. I'll center the text, and we'll simply name it item has not been purchased. Now once we buy the item, it will completely change the label, and the label will say item has been purchased, or whatever we want it to be set in here. Like I said before, it's just a simple demonstration for this tutorial. You can add whatever you like display such and such content, you know, show new levels, or however you do it. That's simply how you do it. But just for the little example now. So if we go to Assistant Editor and just link up these two, the action for this. So we do action. Simply name it purchase item. And then I'll link up our label there, give it an outlet, simply label. There we go. Close the Assistant Editor. Now if we jump back into our viewcontroller.h, we need to import our purchased view controller, so we're allowed to switch to it. So purchase view controller there. And now we need to kind of turn it into almost kind of outlet with a property, so we can pass some data through to our purchase view controller, telling us which kind of item from our in-app purchases that we want to load. So just after the button here, do @property space bracket strong comma space non-atomic, and that will be a bracket, and then we do purchase view controller space asterisk, and I'll just name it purchase controller, just shorten it down a little bit, and that will be a semicolon. And now also we're going to need to add a void statement. So once we purchased our item on our second view, the void statement, it will like kind of tell the void statement on our first view to obviously change the label. Tell us that we have purchased it, so change what the label's saying, kind of thing. So we dash bracket void bracket. Let's name it simply purchased and have a semicolon. Now just simply save all that there. Now if you go into our purchase view controller.h, where we're going to start adding the outlets for our kind of how we display our product info into like some labels and some text fields. So what we need to do there, again, just like in our view controller.h, we'll just take the import for our store kit and place it in there. And then just after the UI view controller, we do the more than and less than symbol. And then in between them we do SK payment transaction observer there. Do comma, because then we need to add the SK products, this one's the request delegate, there we go. And just after the final greater than symbol there, just do bracket and enter. We now need to start adding properties for our product and our product info for the NS string. So we do at property space bracket strong, just like we did on our view controller.h, comma, non-atomic, and then a bracket. Then we do SK product space at symbol product. We'll just simply name it, shorten it down. And if we just copy it and paste it so we can save a little bit of time, so you've got two all together, but then we'll change it here to NS string space at symbol, and this one will be product ID. And that with a semicolon. Now we're going to start adding the, do exactly the same we just done then, but for our outlets, then that will be for our label. We have a label, if we go into our view controller.h. Right, first we're going to have our little kind of go back button. We just add that in. This will be our purchase view controller, and we have a label. And the label will be the title of our item. And then we're going to have, if I find it here, a text view, because it will display multiple lines of text. This will display our product description. We're also going to first copy the button here. The button, we have two buttons. This one will be buy, to buy our item. And this one, if we've already purchased the item before, we can restore our purchases. So you press restore and it just restores any purchases the user had made in the application. So if I just jump back into our view controller.h and I copy our line there, and we'll change it here. So we create an IB outlet and UI label for our label title, space asterisk, and I name it product title, and that way semicolon. Again, I'll paste it in once more, and this time instead of a label, it will be a UI text view. So UI text view. I can find it there. Text view. Space asterisk, and I name it product description. And then we're going to create one more, because when before the information loads up about our item, so before the title and the description loads up, we want the kind of buy button to not be enabled. So we only want it to be enabled once the data is loaded up. So we'll create another one, change it UI button, oh, made two there, sorry, so UI button, and just simply name it buy button. Just so we can change the enabled kind of state of it when we kind of like mess around with it. So just jump into our view controller.xib again, of our purchase view controller, sorry. I'm just link up those actions, outlets, there. There we go. And now we click on our assistant editor, then we need to add create actions for them. So this one will be our go back button. This will dismiss the view controller. So go back, our buy button, it's buy product, and then our restore button. Now they've added them in, we need to close our assistant editor. So they're all added in now. Let's go to our view controller, our purchase view controller.h again, and we need to add a void statement to enable us to get the product information. So we do dash bracket void bracket get product ID. In the objective type here, we just need to, oh, if I got the wrong one there, so in the objective type here we do UI view controller there, space asterisk bracket, let's close it up, and then we do view controller, and now a semicolon there, so we can simply save that. Now if we jumped into our view controller.n, and now if we go to our purchased item, this will enable us to, now we've added the kind of the actions and outlets to our purchase view controller.h, we can now be go to our view controller.m, and we can now switch from our main view to our second view. So what we would do then is underscore purchased controller space equals space bracket bracket purchased view controller space alloc space bracket, and then we do init with a nib name, do nil, in the bundle nil. Now this is just like our previous like switching views tutorial, but it's a little bit different because we have to kind of push our product ID information across with it. So it's a little bit modified on the actual tutorial. So again we do underscore purchased controller dot product ID space equal space @ symbol quotation mark and that array semicolon. Now in between the two quotation marks is the ID of our in-app purchase. Now when we created it, it was com.geekylemon dot our bundle identifier we need to type out first. So we go to summary here. If I just quickly copy that and paste that in. So it was, we need to put our bundle identifier, then we named it at the end. I think it was in-app purchase 1. Now after that we do a bracket self present view controller. In the first highlighted section we do underscore purchased view controller animated yes, and in the completion here we do no, and then a bracket and a semicolon, and then we do bracket underscore purchased controller again get product ID, and that will equal the self, and that array bracket and a semicolon. So basically what we're doing is a more adapted version of switching views. We are also switching views and then telling our product ID to load up our in-app purchase item. Now after that we also need to add that void statement we created in our .h for our void purchase. So we do dash bracket void purchased. Now this will be simply displaying our label. So once the item's been purchased, our label.text will equals item has been purchased, and that array semicolon. So we can save that now, and we can simply, all we've done so far is switch to our view. We'll press our button, it will switch to our view, it will load up, well it will tell our label and text view in our here to load up the title of our in-app purchase item and the description of it. But now we need to start coding for us to be able to do it all really in our purchase view controller. So kind of what we need to do then is go to our view.h, where we've added all the action outlets. So if you go to our .m now, we'll start by simply doing the basics here. So in our go back, we'll do self dismiss view controller animated yes, completion nil. So that gives the option to dismiss that view and go back to our main view. But we need to also import our view controller. .h, so we can gather the information from it. So what we need to do now then, just after the interface purchase view controller, we just go in between there, do @property space bracket strong, comma non-atomic, bracket view controller space bracket home view controller, and that a semicolon. And now in the view did load, as I was talking about before, like before the it gets the product information, we need the buy button to be kind of disable it. So the buy underscore buy button dot enabled space equals space no. So then later on in the code, when it does finally gather the information, we're going to enable the buy button to yes. Okay, so now we've done that, then we need to kind of just have to do restore and the buy button there. We are going to put out our little void statement code. So if this guy can go .h, and I'll simply copy it and then paste it in just to save a little bit of time on typing. Paste it in there, get rid of the semicolon and bracket and enter. So let's do enter one more then, so you can clearly see. So do underscore the name of what we gave our view controller, which is home view controller space equals space view controller, and now semicolon. And now we do an if statement. So basically, if bracket sk payment queue, sk payment queue space can make payments, in that array bracket there. And then in this statement we do sk products request space asterisk, and simply name it request space equals space bracket bracket sk products request again space alloc. After the first bracket here we do space init with products identifiers there. Then we do bracket ns set space set with object, and then here we do self dot product ID, and then we do two brackets and a semicolon, and then we do enter and we do request dot delegate space equals space self and that with a semicolon there, and then we do bracket request just to simply start the request there. So we do start and that with a bracket and a semicolon. Else, so basically else if it can't get the simply the product request. So if it can't get the information, it's going to be else enter there underscore product description dot text. So we're going to display a simple equal space, a simple quotation mark, and have a semicolon. So we can display simply please. What kind of spell please there? So please enable in-app purchase in your settings. Okay then, so we can simply save that now and simply build it. Right, we get an error come up here. You see the problem already. Where I've got UI view controller, we need to change this to view controller. Save and build that now. It gets rid of that error just there. Okay, so now once you've done that, just after that there, we need to do hash pragma. Arguments here we do mark space underscore. Repeat that once more, so do pragma again. In the arguments here we do mark space sk products request. There you go. And now we need to do a few enters there, so I can just simply scroll down a little bit and you can clearly see what I'm typing. Now we do need to do the product request, the void statement here. So we did receive the so we get the response. So we do dash bracket void bracket product request. We did receive response there. And do space bracket and press enter. And then what we can simply do is ns array space asterisk, and we name it products space equals space response dot products, and that array semicolon. And just like before, we can create an if statement. So if, and the condition here, so if products dot count space exclamation mark equals 0. What we're going to do is underscore product space equals space products bracket 0 bracket semicolon underscore buy button space equals space enabled space equals yes, and that array semicolon. Oh, let's get rid of the sorry there, we've got that wrong there. So buy button dot enabled, not equals, sorry. Underscore product title. So when it gets to request, it's gonna enable the buy button. It's gonna in the product title dot text. It's gonna display underscore product dot localized title, which will be the title of it on the how we created it on our in-app purchase, and have a semicolon, and then it's also going to have product description display the description of the in-app purchase. So equals product again, product dot localized description this time, and a semicolon. Or else, so else space bracket enter underscore product title dot text. So if it can't find it, it's going to do product. It's going to simply display. We get display product not found. So if it can't find the item that we were looking for, it will simply display product not found in our product title, and that with a semicolon. And now just after that if statement, now we can simply do products space equals space response dot invalid product identifiers, and have a semicolon, enter. So we do for first highlight section, we will do sk product, get rid of that, just quickly ooh, too far there. So sk product space asterisk product, simply name it, in product. Let's get rid of the highlighted section here. I entered the wrong one there. So basically, so if SKDA product in products, in the bracket in the statements here, we're simply in endless log for for our kind of information, product not found kind of thing. So we do ns log and a string @ quotation mark product not found. After the found there, we do simple colon there, quotation mark percentage sign @ sorry. So this will simply display after the there we do a comma product. So this will display what kind of error is causing the product not to be found in our NS log. Just so we can see on our side, so if there are any problems we can kind of fix it. Okay, so after that then, we need to find our buy button, which is just here. And we'll do sk payment space asterisk payment. We'll get rid of the capitals. Payment with product. Oh, sorry. After the equals space bracket sk payment, then payment with product, and then we do underscore product, and then a bracket semicolon space bracket sk payment queue space default queue, and that with the bracket there, and do space after that, add payment, which will be our payment, and then a bracket and a semicolon. Restore now. So once you've done the buy button there, simply that will make us go to purchase the product. We need to basically add now if we've already purchased it previously, we can just, and say we deleted the app, reloaded the app up, and it hasn't saved our kind of purchase, we can just go to restore and it'll bring our purchase back up. So simply to do that, we do bracket sk payment queue space default queue bracket space add transaction observer, and we do self, and there a bracket semicolon, and again sk payment queue space default queue bracket restore completed transactions, and there a bracket semicolon. Okay, so now once we've done that, we now need to kind of add the payment queue now, so we can kind of, if it's kind of purchased, do this. If it's transaction failed, do this kind of thing. So we'll add that at the bottom here, just under our payment products request. Now again, it's another void statement, and it's called upon when we press our buy product. So we do dash bracket void bracket payment queue, and we need the update transaction one. There we go. Space bracket and then enter, and I'll just do simply for, and I'll just get rid of the highlighted section between the two brackets there. We don't really need them. So if for sk payment transaction space @ let's name it transaction there, in transactions, and then the statements here we do switch, and in the expression we do transaction state, and in the constants here we just need to get rid of that there, because all we're going to be needing, just get rid of the whole of this here so we can kind of type out ourselves. So once we've done that, we do simply case, and in the expression we do sk payment transaction state purchased. So if it's been purchased, and after the colon here we do bracket self space we haven't added our little void statement at the bottom. So did we add it in here? Oh no, we didn't do it in there. We need to create one. So if self, let's quickly create underneath here a little void statement. So unlock purchase there. So self unlock purchase, because in our little unlock purchase here, this will kind of tell our viewController.m void purchase here to change the label. So go back into it. So at the end there, we do bracket semicolon, and go bracket sk payment q space default q, and then finish transaction, do transaction there, and then we bracket semicolon, and then we do break, and that was semicolon, and again we do case in the expression sk payment state failed. So if it fails to purchase, we're going to have to do in the ns log, we'll simply do @ symbol quotation mark transaction fails. It will tell us that the transaction simply failed, and then bracket there in a semicolon, press enter, and again we can simply copy this line here, paste it in there just to save us a little bit of time there. So if we get rid of that end, press we do default the colon, and then so default colon break, and that with a semicolon. Now once the purchase is completed, and you can see here it will go to self unlock purchase, which will be here. It's actually going to now underscore buy button. We're going to disable our buy button. So obviously now we purchased it, we don't really need it, so we can disable it so the user doesn't accidentally press it again and go to purchase. Space equals no, and that raise semicolon, and then we'll probably just get the buy button. Well, on the round red button it says buy. We'll probably change that text now to like purchase, so the user knows that the item's been purchased and doesn't really need to do anything then. So set title ns string purchased. For state here we do UI control state disabled, UI control state disabled, and that bracket semicolon, and then also we need to do home view controller, and then we do the name of our void statement on our home screen, which was purchased. This will enable us to complete the action that we want it to do. So it's purchase, go back onto it there, purchased void statement there, and a bracket and a semicolon. Okay then, there's one thing we're now missing, is that when we, if you just scroll up now to our restore button here, so when we restore our purchases, we kind of got it all set up, but what we haven't got is what to do once the restore has completed. So what we do then, just underneath there, dash bracket void, and then we do payment q restore completed transfers finished space bracket, and then press enter, and then all we want to do then is do bracket self space unlock purchase, and have a bracket semicolon. So then what it's going to do now, once you've stored the purchase and once it's completed, it will then trigger the void statement at the bottom, unlock purchases, just like it gets triggered when the transaction is complete. So just exactly the same, works exactly the same. So once it's restored, it triggers the transaction and it does everything as it would do if you bought it. We can't really test this out in the simulator. It doesn't allow us to purchase items or use the in-app purchase in the simulator, as we need to create a test account for our thingy. But I'm going to show you that on my device anyway. So I'm just go to build and run now and just check it out. All you'll be able to do on the simulator is simply go to our purchased view and have the content be displayed. So we'll just test it out now and see if it will work in. But I'll show you how to create a test account in a moment, and then I'll simply build one on my device to show you that it works completely all perfect. So you can see we've got a button, and it says item has not been purchased. We click buy item. Then we just wait now for our, here we go here. So you can see our product has been displayed. Our title, remove ads, and the description, purchase this item to remove ads from your application. You can go back and back into it, and you can see it loads up once more. We've got our buy button and restore button. Now, like I said, I'm unable to show you this in the simulator, but I'll bring up my device now and simply show you in how it completely works. Okay then, so now you can see have it built on my device. You can go to press buy item, and it all pops up there. But before we can purchase it, we can't use our currently live and iTunes Connect account. But what we have to do is to test it. We have to create a test account, and to do that, if you go log into your iTunes Connect, and if you go down to manage users and go to test users, and just quickly set up add a new user and just set up a test account. And then once you've done that, you can simply make sure you're logged out of your current account on your device. And then when you go to buy, you just wait now, and it says, do you want to confirm your in-app purchase? See, the environment there is in sandbox. And then if you go to buy, and then use an existing Apple ID, and this will be where you add in your test account. So if I just quickly enter one of mine in, now I'll just get rid of the little device there, so you can't really see what I'm typing in as my password, so make sure I'm on the safe side for you. So I'll just bring it back up now. So I'm ready to press OK. Once I hit OK, I'm just going to switch me to the right store here. Alright, and it's done with that. Quickly go back into it. It's good to buy item. So there you can say, now I've purchased it, the button has changed to purchased. If I now go back, you can see the label on the main screen has changed to item has been purchased. Oops, so there we go then. So we'll just get rid of that. So now then we've just simply we just completely created the whole in-app purchase there. But the only problem we've got now is when we build and run the application again, it doesn't really acknowledge that we've purchased it. So what we need to do is add a save function using NSDefault to save it when we do purchase the item. So every time we do load up the application, it loads up that we have purchased it. And that will be in part 3 of the in-app purchase tutorial. So I hope you've enjoyed this part 2 here, and I hope it's helped any of your apps or projects at the moment. If you haven't, make sure you favourite and like this video, just so you get it for future reference. If you haven't, make sure you go check out all the apps which are on the App Store just by simply searching Geeky. And most importantly, if you haven't, make sure you subscribe, and I'll see you all next time in our next.
Thank you for watching this tutorial by Geeky Lemon Development. Be sure to follow them on Twitter and like them on Facebook. Oh, and check out all of their other tutorials and sample projects on their website, geekylemon.com. But most importantly, please download their awesome iPhone and iPad apps by searching Geeky Lemon on the App Store. And please remember to subscribe.